Hey up, people! Welcome to Drowsy Cave. Get ready to walk, because this map has the most walking around of any I've done so far. Let's start with a bad mistake. Mashiao would like to run an experiment on this cow. Personally, I don't like it. Use the needle on the cow, then bring back the experiment report. And remember this face. For reversal of time and space, Michael Sasser here is from the future to prevent the world's destruction at the hands of a monster by preventing it from ever hatching. Use the monster detector to detect the monster egg. Then, with the egg in hand, head back to Sasser to hear the monster was probably created by some experimental drug. See, I knew that wasn't a good idea in the last one. Shadow here thinks some arson is just the way to turn the tides in the fight in Diabolus. Go set 2 fires, then return back to Shadow to report. Mr. Meatball would like you to prepare a dish with the flesh of an intriguing new monster in the area and sends you off to find it. You can find the monster here and, Yep, it's the cow we experimented on. Use the sword to hack off some flesh, then bring it back to Mr. Meatball. And finally, with those monster meatballs in hand, head over to Dinya and hand them over to finish the final new oddity. And onto the old ones. Philip is insisting there is a Sarpa around Side Realis Square, and gives you a camera to go get photo proof of it. Head over here to take the picture. It turns out it's a dolphin, and this is actually where the Dolphin Fish King spawns. Anyway, take the film back to disappoint Philip. In The Good Demon, Latour asks you for assistance in escorting Jet the dog to the battlefield to look for his suspected deceased brother. Investigate all 4 of the nearby corpses after you teleport to trigger the scene where Jet finds Magnus safe and sound. Lang here is not feeling very courageous, so he'd like you to find some special golden water to boost his courage. The water you're looking for is inside Realis Square. You want to gather the water at the spot over here with the golden glow, but there is a different ending if you bring back the silver glow water. Turn it into Lang to trigger the scene. For a deal with demons, if you tell Defoe you are totally up for some power, he will hand you a blood crystal. Use it in the plaza of the Holy Shield Fortress to see what happens, and, well, Otto will stop you and warn you you're being quite dumb and end this oddity. There's supposed to be another way to complete this one by taking the notebook and completing other oddities, but either I wasn't smart enough to figure it out, or the statuses weren't working properly anymore. The next 3 are all linked. For Vile Temptations, defeat the demon in the center of Side Realis, then pick up the broken blood crystal to get a fragment and watch the scene and complete the first oddity. Note that the green exclamation mark actually doesn't show up on the map until you defeat the demon. You'll also be prompted to take the crystal to Otto in town. But, on the way back to town, stop by the waterfall to get a lunchbox. Then go to Otto to exchange the blood crystal for a dim blood crystal. Then, deliver the lunchbox to the strange girl at the second camp over here. After the scene plays, you'll gain a status that allows you to pass through the flames. And since we can finally get through those flames, give the dim crystal to the young man. I believe these 3 are supposed to give you the statuses for the demon notebook, as they trigger the intel status while they're playing out, but after a few days trying, I couldn't get it to work. Francis, the ghost, is hiding up here. He'd like his research notes back, despite not being corporeal. Gather them up from 3 spots around the map. Once you have all 3, fuse them together and turn them back into Francis. You could choose whether or not to just hand them over or chastise him, but it turns out his research is bringing people back from the dead. For Tragic Love Story, Tanner and Jefferson. So says the inside of the ring in this corpse's hand. Jefferson is in town over here. You can choose whether or not to break the news to him, but he's going to find out either way, so I think you should just do the honors. And for the last one, you can find a nice little mushroom over here. Pick it up, do not eat it, then bring it over to Hermione to test on her captured monster. If you happen to eat it, you'll be transformed into an NPC, which you can then head over to speak with Hermione to become human again. Anyway, that is it for Drowsy Cave. Thank you so much for joining in, and we'll catch you next time.